hard and rash fire. This was the Avalon Apartments in Edgewater, New Jersey.
Oh, look at this.
The Avalon Apartments burnt to the ground. Thankfully, no people were hurt, but almost all the pets that were home were victims of the fire and died. There was absolutely no fire safety measures put in place for the protection of the resident pets. Have you done everything you can to ensure the safety of your pet while you're away from home? Officer Rivera was a first responder to the Avalon fire. Officer Rivera, when you as a fireman go into a building and it's blazing, I mean, is it people, pets, both? What do you look for?
Well, as far as our protocol goes, usually when we go in searching, we search for anything that's alive, whether it's kids, whether it's adults, older people, or even animals. Now, usually by what we're usually supposed to do in our protocol, humans do come first before animals.
Okay.
But just like any other firefighter, including myself, we'll try to save everybody as soon as possible. Try to take everybody out at the same time if possible. That's what we try to do.
Now, these are these little stickers. How important are these stickers that tell you that there's actually pets in the apartment if there's nobody home or even if there are people at home?
Well, that's very important. One of the reasons is, for example, it's easier to find a person that's laying on the ground, especially in a small condition, than it is to find a dog. Small dogs, small cats can hide on the sofas or anything like that, even closets, and we usually going through search, even though we do search as best as we can, we might be able to miss them if they're small enough. Having this thing, which is very important, on your door tells us that there's an animal in there.
Right.
Which means now, even if we don't have humans in there, we still be searching for the animal just because of this little sticker.
When the fire department came, they battled it for, 20 minutes, a half an hour, and they really thought they had it under control.
Right.
And the next thing you know, it is just shot through the building and come up the backside, and the whole building was engulfed.
Do you have your own fire safety plan where you live?
Absolutely, we do. We have smoke detectors on both floors and CO2 detectors as well.
This family was recently displaced in a very, very hard and rash fire. Can you tell us what your experience was?
Yes, I came home to the fire and we weren't able to get into the building to get our pet. So I've had a few residents actually that are friends with that actually lost their pets due to the fire because they weren't home and weren't able to get into the residency to get their pets.
You must have been horrified.
We were. I was really lucky and really fortunate that my son was home and he was able to evacuate with our pet.
When you're looking for a new home with your pet, don't be afraid to ask questions. Research the management company, research the landlord, research the builder. Your local code enforcement or even a quick Google search may give you the heads up to keep on looking for another place to move. Here are some tips that just might save your pet's life. Chip your pet. So in case of an emergency and your pet gets lost, they can find you and reunite the two of you together. Make sure you have a pet notification sticker on your door and windows, and crate pets by windows and doors for easy access in an emergency. Safety knobs on gas stoves. And give your neighbor a key and a phone where you can be reached.
I know a lot of people don't crate their animals.
Okay.
So the first thing I would suggest is have a leash or have a harness on the animal so it's easy for us to grab. Personally, I prefer when the animal's on the cage because I can just grab the cage and go.
Okay.
As far as it goes with me, actually my dogs are crate trained, so this way in case there's ever a fire or anything, you can just grab the cage, pull it right out if you have to.
Okay.
I also suggest if you have neighbors, to have the neighbors have keys.
Okay.
Somebody you trust that has a key and knows, so this way in case there's a small condition or a fire, they can go in before the fire gets to, big, where they shouldn't be in. But for example, if they see smoke coming out of an apartment and it's still safe to go in and they want to get the animal out, that's perfectly fine. Or at least to have the neighbors know also, because when we arrive on scene, sometimes people start yelling and screaming at us. Let us know there's an animal there so we can always get him out.
Most important thing you can do is the same thing you would do for a person, you need to do for your animal. Always have a to-go bag ready. In case of an emergency, you can grab a bag and go. And in that bag, you want to have 2 or 3 days worth of food, some water, a bowl. If you have any pet medications, make sure you either photocopy them. Make sure you have your vet's telephone number, because most people realize, oh, my vet's up the block, across from the deli, you know. But realize you really should have the name and telephone number and emergency contacts for your veterinarians. And again, like I said, medication is most important. You also should have your updated shot sheets, rabies tags, things like that. One of the most important things you can do in preparation is to have your dog microchipped. In the event of a fire or a flood and the animal escapes, if it doesn't have a name tag on, which is so important to have a name tag and a rabies tag so we can track that animal back, is to have a microchip. And you get a microchip very easily at any shelter in the state of New Jersey or at your local veterinarian between $25 and $50. And what that allows us to do, if we get a stray animal or an animal that escaped, we can scan the animal and track the animal right back to the person who owns them via email, telephone, text message, which is so important.
Thanks so much for watching the Pet Friendly People channel and Pet Friendly Properties. I think we've gotten some wonderful information from these outstanding professionals in our community, and we hope to see you again in our next episode. Bye-bye. Keep your pets safe.
Microchip.
Absolutely.